It is time. It is finally time to talk about the Super Mario Brothers movie. Hey everybody, I'm Isaiah and welcome back to my topic channel. And yes, it is finally time for me to do the review of the Super Mario Brothers movie. Oh my God, I've seen this movie twice in the theaters, and each time I loved this movie more. This is a movie I've been looking forward to not only since I was a little kid, but since it was introduced as it was an animated movie. Because the first movie that fans got, well, it sucked. But this movie, I was so hyped for, and I was so happy with it. It called back to, our diehard fans from the 80s, diehard fans like me, that could call out every reference. But then it was also put together as, a family movie, which it was. Illumination made it a family movie at an hour and a half long. And they got to put a lot of stuff into an hour and a half. Now, does a fan like me did they want a longer movie? Yes. But was I also happy with how the movie turned out? Absolutely. The references, the cast, everything was great. So here's my review of the Mario movie. Before we get into it, there are going to be spoilers. I'm going to go over as much as I can in this movie, beginning to end. So if you haven't seen the movie yet and care about spoilers, go see it. But if you have seen the movie or don't care about spoilers, stick around. But without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, starting off, the casting, we all were shocked by it. But this casting was great. Chris Pratt as Mario was, extremely funny to watch. Chris Pratt brought his own, not only voice but personality to Mario, with keeping with the Mario we all know and love. The adventurous, the brave, the willing to do anything to save people and do good by everyone. He's still there. This Mario is great. As we see, how he starts a plumbing company, then he goes on to the Mushroom Kingdom throughout there and soon fights Bowser. It was really great to see him and Charlie Day, who plays Luigi. It was really cool to see them interact again on screen, but they already had a kind of chemistry with both being on the Lego movie. Anna Taylor-Joy did a fantastic job as Peach. It was weird to hear Peach's voice in a little deeper, not too high pitched. But she did a stellar job and made Peach serious. And in this movie, Peach isn't the damsel in distress. She's one of the heroes in this movie. She's the adventurer. She kicks butt. And that was really cool to see. Peach do that. And I think they did that on purpose. It's we don't want to make Peach be captured because there's no story. How does Mario know Peach if we're doing the Brooklyn thing? And it was also cool because it was it gives girls, a character to look up to, like a lot of cartoons do. They make females warriors and, role models, and Luigi being captured, it makes more sense as it gives Mario a reason. From what we've seen in both trailers, it gave Mario a reason to continue his journey through the Mushroom Kingdom, and it gave, seeing Luigi like that, we got to see kind of a character development with him. Keegan-Michael Key as Toad was hilarious to watch. Toad was one of my favorite characters in this entire film. He was funny, he was adorable, he was cute, he was funny. He was also the adventurous type. This Toad is the loyal companion. This is the Toad that we know from all the games. This is the Toad that, they put on the big screen. They literally took his entire personalities and just put voices over it. And I know you guys want me to talk about this. Jack Black as Bowser. Oh my God. They could not have gotten someone better for this role. At first, I was skeptical with some of the casting, and then I saw Jack Black, and I was, number one, dying laughing on the floor. But number two, I was like, it makes sense for him to be Bowser. He's lent his voice to many other cartoon characters. But Jack Black, he literally bought Jack Black to this role. And of course, I have to talk about Seth Rogen's Donkey Kong. funny to watch. A lot of people didn't really like, the way that it was just, Seth Rogen's voice on Donkey Kong. I thought it worked perfectly because, again, I love this movie, but also I thought Donkey Kong was hilarious in this movie. But, going off base these characters, you have all these respected, actors and actresses coming on and doing these voices. It was really cool to see and really great when it was put together. And then we can talk about the plot. The plot is, it starts out, the movie starts right off from where the teaser leaves us. Bowser is in the Snow Kingdom with the penguins. The penguins come out and try to destroy it. And he literally comes in and just destroys it. And he literally says, "Who's going to stop me?" And it goes into the movie with the Mario Brothers Super Show theme song. I was so excited that they put it in. Black Nerd was right that they put it in there. And, seeing that, I had a big smile on my face, and I was just laughing because even though I wasn't around in the 80s when it came on, when I was on Netflix as a little kid, I watched that show. It was one of my favorite cartoons growing up, I really loved the Super Show. So seeing that reference was really cool. Seeing the commercial, it was cool. There was also some other references throughout it. And then you actually get to see them in a pizza spot, and one of the big Easter eggs, the original voice of Mario, Charles Martinet, he does the voice for Mario. There's a character called Jumpman in the thing, another add to Donkey Kong, as Mario's first name was Jumpman. And, we get to see them, and we get to see Spike, who was their first boss. If you don't know who Spike is, he was in the game Wrecking Crew as the main boss and the main antagonist in the game, as he stopped Mario and Luigi from doing their job. He's upset that they left. He thinks that it was a bad thing, let alone there are so many Easter eggs in this movie. There is literally a scene where Mario and Luigi are home. He's depressed. His parents, yes, we get to meet the other parts of the Mario family. His parents think it was a bad idea, especially his dad, which is, pretty standard. And we see a scene where Mario is literally in his room playing an NES, playing Kid Icarus, which was funny to see. So that means, is Nintendo canon in the Mario movie universe? Is that something that happened? It now leads to all these questions. We see Pauline as the mayor, which was teased in one of the original, posters for the movie. We get to see Mario and Luigi. They go down into the sewer where they try to stop a giant leak in Brooklyn, and they find the warp hole and the warp pipe, and they go through it and they get separated. And this is the first look since the trailers of the Mushroom Kingdom, and it is great. Toad this is where he becomes my favorite character. He helps Mario get through the Mushroom Kingdom, and the Mushroom Kingdom, talk about references. They had an antique store where there was old power-ups from Mario Bros. 3. They had a dragon coin from Mario World. It was so well put together. And again, they listened to the fans and they gave fans what they wanted, a great Mario movie. So then we finally get to see Peach, and we finally get to see her and Mario, act around each other. You can see right from the beginning that both, have a liking for each other, and they both get crushes on each other. And then Peach already is heading out because Bowser is on his way to the Magic Kingdom. And at this point, we see Luigi in the dark, and what is technically the World 8. If you don't know, in all Mario movies, World 8 is technically Bowser's castle. And Bowser's castle is the last thing, and you can tell that this world is impressively dark. We see Luigi, he runs from Dry Bones, he runs from Shy Guys, and then he gets captured in a castle and is taken. And this is where Luigi is for most of the movie. A lot of people wanted Luigi to have more screen time. I personally would have liked to see him have a little more, but, you can't really do much with a guy in a cage the entire time, literally just hanging over lava. You can give him some more lines, but it doesn't really do much. He wasn't in the movie long until the ending. It kind of, does it suck? Yeah, but, more in the lines of the movie worked that way. So then we finally as they're on their adventure, Toad tags along, and this is my favorite line in the entire film. Mario introduces Peach to Toad, and Toad's like, we're best friends. But Mario goes, but are we? Which kind of leads to, throughout the movies and, everything that happens, I always felt that Toad was Mario's not only second in command, but his best friend. In a sense, does he have Luigi? Yeah. But, Toad was always there with Mario throughout the games and everything, always helping him out. So I always saw Toad as Mario's best friend. That's how I was since I was a kid. And they made it canon, technically. Toad sees Mario as the best friend he's ever had. And also, let's talk about more references to the games. The power-ups are real in this, These power-ups are funny when they use them. They use, like, the regular mushroom, which is a thing that they made. Mario hates mushrooms, so he doesn't like the mushrooms as a power-up. But they make them bigger and they make them stronger. We see the fire flower used by Peach. We see all the ones we saw in the trailers. Like, we had the cat suit, we had the Tanuki Mario. Then we see some that we didn't see in the trailer. Spoiler alert. We see the mini mushroom get used at one point, and we see the ice flower get used, which were all really cool to see throughout the film and see the power-ups and how they all came about. And then what they need to do in the movie, Princess Peach decides that they need the Donkey Kongs on this to help with Bowser. They need the Kong's help. So they need to get the King Kong, no relation to that King Kong, to sign off, or they need their help. So we get to see them go to the DK world. I'm going to call it that. That's what it's called. The DK jungle, as we can say. And we see Cranky Kong's the king of all of the Kongs, believe it or not, but it also makes sense. And the thing is about this one too, is that for the modern DK, there's always been a thing. Is it Donkey Kong Jr.? Because Cranky's supposed to be the modern DK. Well, not the modern DK, the original DK. And then you have Donkey Kong Jr., and then you have the modern DK. And this is the thing that I soon found out from Donkey Kong 64, which is where they probably got it. DK is Donkey Kong Jr. Donkey Kong Jr. is the modern DK, so then makes Cranky the original. And they say it's the point where Cranky's like, if you can beat my son in a game, in a battle. So I was like, yes. We finally get to see Mario and Donkey Kong. The entire, stage of that is set up like the original Donkey Kong arcade game, which is really cool to see. We even get to see a small glimpse of Diddy Kong and Trixie, which was really, really cool. And I'm excited because I hope if this movie gets a sequel, or whenever it gets a sequel, maybe we'll get to see more of them. Maybe they'll become main characters. But it was really cool to see this battle as, Donkey Kong's this big guy. He's slapping around Mario. He's beating him up. And then Mario obviously wins, which they get on their side. And here becomes the best scene in the entire movie, the Mario Kart race. Yes, as we saw from the trailer, they literally put Mario Kart in the movie. They made it canon to the Mario movie universe. And they also made a thing that the Kongs created Mario Kart. What? It was even cool because Mario, Peach, and Toad, they got to make their cars themselves. And you actually got to see, like them move like the little things to make the carts, which obviously you can do in Mario Kart 7 and Mario Kart 8, which is really, really cool. And it's also cool to see, you see the classic design with Mario's car. Peach obviously has a motorcycle, how she usually does. And it's just funny to me because in this movie, you see Toad, he's one of the smallest characters, and he got the biggest car, which I thought was kind of funny to see. A small guy like Toad driving a big-ass Jeep, It was really cool to see, and I loved that entire scene to the point where, the Rainbow Road thing, I was just getting so much nostalgia, of being, a little kid and playing Mario Kart Wii for the first time, and that was really, really cool. So obviously, throughout this time, we find out that, we go back to Bowser's Castle, and we find out why he wants to get Peach. He wants to get the superstar to confess his love to Peach, which I think through the entire thing is just funny because, it reminds me of Mario Odyssey, obviously, because the main reason Bowser wants to get Peach and rule the kingdom is he wants to marry her. Which, that reminded me of Odyssey, because if you don't know, in Super Mario Odyssey, Bowser kidnaps Peach because he wants to marry her. And that was a cool callback for me, because Mario Odyssey is my favorite Mario game. But it was also cool to see, they put that in there, and oh my god, the song Peaches. That song stuck in my head. I can't escape it, but it's so catchy. God. Peaches, 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 peaches. No. But yeah, so Bowser sings a song at the piano, which it actually said Ludwig von Beethoven. If you don't know, it's one of the Koopa kids who's named Ludwig von Koopa. Beethoven, Ludwig von Koopa. The piano said Ludwig von Koopa. It's really cool to see. And, Bowser's henchman in this is funny too. Bowser's had a second in command, Kamek, since he was a kid. And it was cool to see Kamek in here. He's kind of nerdy, he's kind of dorky, but then he's also, Bowser's second in command, but Bowser doesn't care about him at all, which he doesn't really care about any of them. And it was also cool to see that Bowser is a metalhead. When he's celebrating, he's sitting on his throne, banging his head to like what sounds like Slayer or, Anthrax or something. Which is a really cool thing, because if you don't know, Jack Black's in a band called Tenacious D. That, he loves, metal music, as, seen on like different pictures of him running. Like, he was even wearing a Ronnie James Dio Christmas sweater. It's really cool to see. So it's cool that they were able to incorporate Jack Black's likeness into Bowser as a character. But oh my god, this Mario Kart scene gets even better. Going back to it, when all of the Koopas come out. And another thing they made canon, the blue shell. That no one escapes him. He has the biggest cart, and he ends it by trying to get Mario, who's the lead. At the very end, he blows up Mario and Donkey Kong, and they fall into the ocean. And Peach and Toad are just like, now, where do we go? So they have to go back to the Mushroom Kingdom to warn it. And we get to see something which I think is funny in this. Mario and DK, Donkey Kong hates him, because he beat him in the game. But then Mario's like, look, we got to work together and do this. And DK's just like, no, I don't like you. No, like, my dad doesn't like me either. So why do I need someone else to not like me? But then they bond over, they both have issues with their father, which is really cool again to see. But then we finally get to see, all of the Kongs. They're all captured for the most part, other than DK, obviously. Luigi's there, all the penguins are in there. And then you have the Star. And this Star was the worst character in the entire movie. Got on my nerves, but also it was like, you could tell this Star's been through some stuff. Like, I couldn't help but like, number one, I felt bad for the Star, because we don't know how long he's been in there. But also, I'm like, please, stop. You're making me depressed watching this, and it's not, depression's not a funny thing, it never has, it's never been, it never, has been. It's also, but, seeing this, I'm just like, no, like, this Star, I'm not gonna lie, I'm sorry, he was the worst character in this movie. But, going back, we soon find out that Mario and DK are in this monster stomach, which is actually the monster. This giant fish monster has been in, the new Super Mario Bros. Games. He's been in Mario 3D World. He's even in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, like the big, fish. I'll throw up a picture if I can find one. But after this, they finally get to the Mushroom Kingdom. Bowser's there, pledges his love and his loyalty to Peach, gets rejected. But then he technically forces her to marry her. He threatens to hurt the Toads, and she's like, fine, I'll marry you if you don't hurt my Toads and everything. And also, it's a thing that Peach is not a Toad. She's not from the Mushroom Kingdom. She doesn't know where she came from. So she went through the Warp Hole too as a baby, which actually is also cool. We get to see baby characters in this movie. We get to see baby Mario and baby Luigi and baby Peach. So is Peach from Mario's world? He might be. That was one of the things, you know. She grew up in the Mushroom Kingdom. He grew up in Brooklyn. He says in the thing, you know, in the Mario Kart, going back to that, he says, you know, maybe you're from my world. You know, maybe I'll show you sometime. And Donkey Kong's like, is that your way of flirting? You know, that's dumb. And then Toad's like, no, he's not. No, he's not. He can definitely get her. He can definitely get her. Which I thought was funny, too, because, you know, Toad's the wingman as well. But anyway, we cut back to Bowser's main plan. He's going to not annihilate. He's going to sacrifice. He's going to sacrifice all of the characters, Luigi included, at the wedding. You know, so we get to the wedding scene, and at this point, Mario and Donkey Kong are still in the stomach, figure out a way to get back out. They use the glass cannon, and they finally get out to go and save all of them. So what happens is, you know, they're at the wedding, and we get to see the ice flower move as Peach is like, you really thought I was going to marry you? And she freezes Bowser. As all the guys are being lowered in, you know, the Kongs, Luigi, you know, he's holding on for dear life. And she freezes it. And at this point, it then cuts to Mario and DK using power-ups, you know. We get to see the Tanuki Leaf scene, which was really, really cool to see. It was also cool to see Donkey Kong all fired up. That was a really cool fight scene. As you got to see, you know, Mario jumping on the Goombas, you know, jumping on the Koopas, the Goombas, you know, flying around. I thought I was playing the game, or I thought I was watching gameplay footage, but it was really, really cool. But then, you know, the ice breaks that's holding the chandelier, and it starts to go down. Mario then saves all of them. Then Donkey Kong starts rolling the chains back up and saves them all. At this point, Bowser's still frozen, but yeah, Mario's united. Mario's united with his brother. You know, he meets Toad, Donkey Kong, and Peach. But then here comes Bowser breaking out of the ice, and he summons the big Bullet Bill, which was really cool to see. The Bullet Bills are one of my favorite things in the Mario universe. It's probably one of the best power-ups in the Mario Kart series. So we see Mario fly with the Tanuki Leaf, and he gets it in a way where you see this cool cinematic thing of Mario just flying around with the Bullet Bill, and he gets them into the warp pipe. But then it explodes the warp pipe, and it actually, for the first time in the movie, we see the Mushroom Kingdom and Brooklyn collide. Both of the Mario world collide, and we see Bowser trying to take over Brooklyn now, but then Mario and Luigi won't let that happen. As Mario gets motivation after seeing, you know, in a pizza shop, you know, the TV's hanging down, sees him and his brother, and he's like, we're saving Brooklyn. So then Luigi, who's still, you know, cowarding, he falls into a trash can, and then he's also like, I can't help. So Mario comes in, you know, he's running to the shell, back to the star, which at this point is now kind of like, it's just kind of floating, and Bowser's like, no, it's my star, I stole it, it's mine, you know, being a little baby about it. So then you see, Luigi's out of sight, he's still in the trash can, Mario is running, and then Bowser just goes, and, you know, tries to burn Mario. But then Luigi to the rescue. In this movie, Luigi's finally like, it's time to be brave. And he's literally holding a manhole cover to actually stop the fire. And they're like together, and they let go of the manhole. It blasts them over to the superstar, and we get to see the invincibility power-up. This scene was awesome. See Mario and Luigi running around, you know, they're stomping on all the enemies, and finally we see them destroy Bowser. And also we get to see the Mario 64, the Goodbye Gay Bowser, and they completely win. And Bowser gets shrunken down, and Mario finally gives Peach a pet turtle. And that technically ends the movie. It ends the movie with Mario and Luigi going to work in the Mushroom Kingdom. They're seen as the Super Mario Brothers now. And that's where the movie ends. And oh my God, I love this movie. It was so great to see in the theaters. You know, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the characters. I enjoyed everything about this movie. You know, I've wanted this movie since I was a kid, you know, since I was like 7 years old, you know, and I finally got it, you know, after all these years. And it was really cool to see, you know. I couldn't believe that we finally got a good Mario movie. And, do I wish it was longer? Yeah, I kind of wish I got, maybe 15, 20 minutes of extra footage. I would have watched the 2.5 hour version of that movie. But it's a perfect family movie. If family has little kids, these little kids would enjoy it, When I saw it, there were a lot of families going, it was really cool. But it also felt kind of weird as being the only, teenager just sitting in there by himself eating popcorn. No, but anyway, this movie was still really good. I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it already. Sorry for the spoilers, by the way, but you were warned in the beginning. But, this was a great movie. I highly recommend if you haven't seen this yet. Or if you want to watch it again, go see it again. It was a great movie. I'm probably going to see it again soon or wait for it to come out on Blu-ray. And, oh, believe me, I've seen those pre-orders for the Blu-rays. My bank account's gonna cry. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching my review of the Super Mario Bros. Movie. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. But if you guys enjoyed this, please subscribe if you haven't, because in my opinion, you've always seen topics in your life. Thank you guys for watching once again, and I see you guys again. Peace to the O, to the U, to the T. Peace out, guys.